Hello everyone, this is Rick and welcome to Astral Club. This is Astral Defense, Tower of Light. Before we get into it, just want to mention Patreon. If you'd like to join Patreon and support the work here of Astral Club, you can do so. When you join, you get advanced episodes on Sunday, commercial free, a library of downloaded episodes for your podcast app, and a Patreon email where we can talk back and forth. If you're interested, there is a link in the description. Next up, private lessons. If you'd like a lesson to astral project, be more than glad to work with you. All you have to do is go to the description and send me a request for more information with the email listed there. Now, there are many techniques for spiritual self-defense. And there are people out there who do this on a regular basis. They're the people who seem to walk above everyone else. They seem to have some sort of aura around them where trouble kind of goes around them, where Karens look the other way for a victim, where trouble at work tends to go somewhere else. And there's a reason for this. It's because these people have used some form of an astral defense that deflects the negative approaches of physical and spiritual entities. I'm going to share with you a technique called the Tower of Light, which I got from the Llewellyn Practical Guide to Psychic Self-Defense and Well-Being by Melita Denning and Osborne Phillips. I did check, and there is an edition or two available on Amazon if anybody wants to purchase the book. So how can this technique be used? Well, it can be used at any time where you have a minute or two to get centered and to follow the steps. Now, at first, it'll take you a little bit longer till you get the hang of the steps. But once you get the hang of it, you'll be able to do it much more quickly. And you can use this before you walk into a tough business meeting. You can use this, when you're walking around in the grocery store. And you can use this if you're in danger of being confronted with a Karen. And these creatures tend to roam everywhere nowadays. So any way to fend them off or to deprive them of their vicious power is good for everybody involved. So let's get into it. The Tower of Light. Number 1, breathe deeply and evenly. What you want to do is breathe deeply in through your nose, hold it for a few seconds, then exhale through your mouth for a few seconds, and then hold, and then just start over again. You'll find that within about a minute, you'll become much more relaxed and much more centered. Number 2, progressively relax your whole body. Now, they don't get into exactly how you do that. Personally, I like to use the light method. Picture yourself with a warm, glowing light moving its way from your toes all the way up to the crown of your head. And you'll find yourself very warm and very relaxed. Number 3, stand erect without stiffness, arms at your sides. If you are walking, then walk upright, evenly, calmly, arms swinging loosely at your sides. If you're seated, then sit with your spine erect. Your feet should be parallel and firmly planted with your hand palms down on your thighs. In either case, proceed with what follows just as if you were standing. When you get used to doing this, you'll get used to whatever position works best for you. Obviously, if you have some sort of health problem and you can't stand for some period of time, then sit or lie down, whatever works. Number 4, visualize. Okay. What you want to visualize here is a long ellipsoid of intense, bright blue light. It should extend about 9 inches beyond the surface of your body all around and to about 16 inches above your head and below the floor level at your feet. Your psychic aura is much more extensive than that, but this is usually sufficient for defensive purposes. Number 5, when you can visualize or simply be aware of this well-defined field of intense, bright blue light that entirely surrounds you, visualize within the summit of that aura, slightly above, not touching your head, a globe of brilliant white light. So you've got this globe of brilliant white light that is hovering above your head, but not touching. Number 6, concentrate your attention on this globe so that it becomes brighter, glowing white like burning magnesium. You don't need to look upwards, just sense its presence. You are making this image to represent the light of the higher self, which is truly there. And you imagine this globe above your head, not touching, because you do not in any way identify your higher self with your conscious self or your ego personality. They are distinct. Number 7, be aware of these 2 images, the intense bright blue ellipsoid light, kind of like a stretched out egg, if you want to think of it that way, that entirely contains you, and that this beautiful white globe above your head is just occupying this apex, and that it is just this glowing, bright lighthouse of energy. Number 8, aware of that brilliant globe over your head, aspire to the highest good that you are capable of conceiving or realizing. This really represents your true divine force. Number 9, when you feel ready, see the dazzling globe sending down glittering white light. This light, filled with silver sparkles, floods your aura and at the same time completely permeates you, coursing vibrantly through you. Number 10, the outer shell of your aura remains sharply defined, and this intense bright blue extended egg now fills your entire living body with a vibrant, sparkling white light. Now you can continue this formulation for whatever time you feel is necessary. Now if you've got some extra time, use the extra time. If time is pressing, well, then you're going to need to make sure that this moves along a little bit more quickly, and it'll still work well. And this brilliance is going to flow down continually into you and around you. It's inexhaustible, and it's part of the source of all. And in your aura, it continually circulates, sparkling, reinforcing that hard, sharply defined blue outer shell. Be aware of yourself, blissful and alert, at the center of this glorious manifestation of divine power. Number 11, let it fade now from your consciousness, knowing at the same time that it is not faded from reality. That is a method that you can use, as I said before, anytime you feel you're going into a situation where you'll be confronted with chaotic or negative energies and people. I know it's something that I can't forget to do, even though I do once or twice, if I'm going to go into one of these large stores like Costco. Because if you're sensitive, like I am, after all these astral projections, you get all these contrary energies and all these thoughts that start bombarding you from everywhere, and this frenetic energy. When you do this, you can walk through a virtual hurricane, and you will be the eye of that hurricane. Okay, well, if you found that helpful, why don't you hit the like button, share it with those of like minds, subscribe if you haven't already, and give me your questions and comments. What do you think? You think you'll use this? Do you have any ideas? Have you used something like this in the past? Let me know. And this is Rick, and as always, I will see you on the astral plane.